So every day morning, I want to be in a fighting mood for making money, or I want to be in a completely good mindset for making money. So, in order to make sure and ensure that that happens, I have created a visualization script based on the way it is used in sports and based on many research which I have done on sports psychology, where the athletes use a similar kind of scripts. My scripts are specific to the kind of trading which I do. So for me, the most important thing is always be in control, which is going to mean like in my visualization, I'm going to look at like how can I be in control? What is likely to work? Is it bullish scenario, bearish scenario? What are the scenarios? Accordingly, I have a plan for both kind of scenarios which I worked out today. The second important thing is always I remind myself and visualize controlled risk taking. What will controlled risk taking look like? How will I be able to control risk? How aggressively should I have stops? Which kind of setup should I be focusing on this stage? And where should I be taking profit? Should I be taking profit quickly or let it run? Those are the kind of parameters, and also how many positions to be open, how much overnight risk to be there. Those are the things which is going to determine my risk taking, and continuously focusing on these two elements, always be in control and controlled risk taking. That is almost 50% of my visualization in the morning. Now, the other visualizations are specific to the setups which I trade. When I'm trading a breakout setup, find and enter early, which is one of this visualization which I always practice because I want to get into a breakout as soon as I see it. Entering early substantially increases your profit and reduces your risk. Similarly, if I'm into a position, I want to sell into strength and not wait for it to drop in momentum. So this is again another thing which I have to continuously reinforce, because many of the momentum bursts are just 3 to 5 days. So you have to be able to sell into strength. Think 3 days ahead and think 30 days ahead. So based on that, I create scenarios. So currently, I have a scenario. There can be a small bounce or there can be a tradable rally. And there is another T30 kind of a scenario, which is think 3 days ahead, that the market might bottom. And if the market bottoms, what is the plan? For all these eventualities, I have plans for that. This is the specific to when the Fed is supporting the market, that when the Fed is supporting market, you keep just buying the dips. Plastic, this is my script or visualization tool to remember that when you have a lot of breakouts or a lot of opportunities, there are three sectors which always make big moves: healthcare, technology, and consumer discretionary. So when faced with a choice, always select stocks from technology, healthcare, or consumer discretionary over other stocks. The next script is also important, very important script and visualization, because for stocks with no earnings or sales make bigger moves than stocks with earnings and sales in the short run. You will see many times, multiple times in a year, that stocks which have like a very questionable fundamentals and things, but just a story, are going to double, triple, go up 400, 500%. Now, if you have trained your mind to only think in terms of stocks with earnings and sales are good, then you'll never be able to profit from stories. So stories is another visualization script which I use daily. Cougar, this is a script for trading young setups and young stocks, not getting into extended setups or stocks which already made second, third level. The next script is also extremely important. Whatever is in bold is very, very important. Linear. Whenever I'm looking for anything, whether I'm looking for a breakout, I'm looking for anticipation setup, or even if I'm looking for a EP setup, I'm looking for something which has a linearity, something which has a persistent buying or selling, or persistent. Yes, is important because persistent things tells you that that thing is likely to continue. OLC, organized like crazy. This is general advantage if you can organize everything and you're very well organized, like in terms of scans, in terms of kind of orders you're going to put in, stops, in terms of having all your software in place, having all your tools in place, everything in place. Then you're just like Mary Kondo of trading. Then FSP, focus on high price stock. This is specific to the again the kind of trading which I do. As I have more and more capital to trade, I'm focusing on higher price stock because that allows me to get into a stock which is priced very high with a low risk. Then this is another thing which I'm always reminding myself to focus on. Many times stock breakout with very big volume of 20 million plus volume, but those stocks then have a pullback, and I want to focus continuously on those stocks because my studies show that stocks which go on to make big moves have those kind of big volume breakouts. Big Bang Theory, again, it ties up with FR20, which is stocks which when they break out for a multi-year or multi if you are looking for a stock which is going to make 200, 300, 500% move, then it is going to be break out with a big bang volume. So the Big Bang Theory is another tool just to remind myself of what to focus on. TTT, this is to focus for anticipation on 3 tight days or 2 tight days or 1 tight days. Tool inch, which is my acronym for selecting breakouts when I'm looking at buying any momentum burst or a breakout trade. If I'm looking for a life-changing EP, then Magna 53 plus Cap 10 by 10 is an acronym, which is a series of checklists which a stock needs to meet in order for it to be considered as a episodic pivot life-changing. These are the kind of stocks which make 300, 400, 500% move. Niagara 3 by 10, week 3 by 2.5 again is my short form for selecting stocks for short selling in week structure chart setup which I trade. For my longer term accounts and all, I have a setup which is like basically focused on finding stocks which have uh, back to back 2 quarters of 39% plus sales growth. And FSS is the short form that is like focus on sales stars. And turnaround EP, again, this is something which I focus on when the market has corrected a lot. And for turnaround EP, there is I have to remind myself, country in trouble. Whenever country is in trouble, countries don't go broke, so they always make a comeback. So whenever a country is in trouble and its ETF is trading at a very low level, it is down big, then that particular country in trouble is what I want to focus on. So I remind myself, because you have to go and then every day go and look at list of countries and see which country is ranked last, and then see if there is an opportunity there. And overall, FFM is my script for like what I want to do in trading, which is to focus on finding free money. That is like, and I want to find opportunities where my risk is going to be minuscule. So this is the total visualization scripts which I have created for my own trading, and I use this first thing in the morning. So first thing in the morning for around half an hour, whether I'm like in a sitting at my desk or doing cardio on the treadmill or on the thing, I go through this script in my mind, and this allows me to be focused in terms of focused on only what is my style of trading, my setups, and what I want to control. And that's the goal behind this visualization tool. So if you want to use similar kind of a thing, create a visualization tool which is specific to your trading. And if you want to know more about this, go and read up on psychology of sports. And in psychology sports, all the athletes, the tennis players, the Olympic athletes, and all these high level athletes use visualization to improve their performance and to make sure that on the day of their competition or day of their match, they are in the right mood and in the right framework. And they have a certain core scripts which they create, which they want to reinforce continuously. And those core script, they keep mumbling to themselves, or before a match they sit down and do a visualization on. So this is one of the psychological tools which you can use to improve your trading and get your trading under your control, and not have FOMO and not react to market conditions, just like in a have complete controlled risk taking and always win control kind of a mentality day in and day out.